What's up guys, Sheldon back with another review, and today we are looking at the Super Action Statue Moody Blues from Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5. This guy is Abbacchio's stand. Alright, let's take a look at the box really quickly though. Here we go. Got this nice dark purple and light purple gradient right here, Harlequin pattern, pretty typical of these boxes. Some of these accessories he comes with, display stand, separate heads or alternate heads, box art, box window, and more box art. Alright, and here is a quick visual of the accessories he comes with right here. So, oh man, they got messed up. So you can see the two alternate heads, which we'll take a closer look at right here. And then he comes with matching hands for both sides, unlike Abbacchio right here. So, without further ado though, let's take a look at these hands. Of course he comes with the two fist hands, which come out of the box. But he comes with these kind of flared out hands or relaxed hands right here. So very nice. I really like this speaker motif, even these like knuckle studs right here, panel lining on the fingers, and the this thing right here, I don't know what to call it, but it's like the sleeve leading out from his outfit. He's got these like other relaxed hands, his curved fingers right here. Then he has these kind of like, I don't know how you'd put it, but his fingers are stuck together right here, so they're not quite straight, slightly bent. And then finally he comes with just one pointing hand for his right hand right here. And like I mentioned before, it is he also has these fist hands, and I really like this nice touch right here. If you look at the outfit, let me zoom out actually. So if you look at the character design, it looks like he's like wearing an extra outfit on top that stretches over it. And it comes down and it actually like comes out and goes to the, I don't know, like wraps around his finger like one of those like ballerina outfits, so that's kind of cool. I don't know about that though. He comes with an alternate head. Let's zoom in, and this one's interesting because this one right here you see on the forehead has this rewinding symbol, and the regular one has a time symbol, so that's a really cool touch right here. Another difference right here is the back is solid plastic, one piece, and the one that comes out of the box is actually separate pieces right here, which allows for a little bit more articulation, which we'll go into. And then the last head, though, does not have that plastic around its neck, and the timestamp is 18 seconds, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so let's take a look at the figure itself, though. And let's get a quick height measurement right here. Alright, so he stands about just about 6 inches, and that is about 15 and 3/4 centimeters. So pretty decent size. And here he is, next to his user, Abbacchio, right here. So Abbacchio is a little taller. There we go. So just a little bit taller, but overall scales pretty well in terms of proportion and size. Okay, so let's take a look at the articulation though. So something to note is that the head articulation is kind of strange. So it is really, really limited, again, thanks to the character design. Whoop. Okay, so I remember thinking about how they would do this figure even before it was released, because I know like the character design again looks like he's wearing like, I don't know, like a bag, like this outfit over his head that stretches out. So I was thinking, oh, how are they going to do the articulation? And for the most part, it's still super limited. So you can see that since this piece is separate right here, you can move the head, the actual head, just a little bit right here. But like almost none going back, almost none going forward, and you basically have no neck articulation right here, actually like fits in. But the head articulation, or I should say switching off the head, requires you to take off the neck. So when you take it off though, you'll see that you can move it a little bit more right here. So the articulation technically is there, but again, thanks to the sculpt, it fits like just perfectly on the body. You can see that it's even, oh, so clumsy today, it's even sculpted in a way to accommodate this stuff. So unfortunately, head articulation for this head is kind of bad. You do have this one that is a single piece though, and surprisingly you get more articulation out of this one. Don't know why. Not much more, but you can see that you do get a little bit of movement right here. So there is that. And you can turn. It looks kind of ugly though, because again, it's not meant to be like that. So that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, you can't do anything about it because this is the only head that has the rewind symbol. And then finally though, you have the head that doesn't have any of that stuff. And this one actually gives you really good range of motion though. So see now, once you see that it's unimpeded, really nice back and forth, really far going up, and pretty decent going forward too. So this is the one I'll keep on for the review. But just a note though, in terms of like story, this one has a time stamp of 18, this one has rewind, and this one has the 0. Alright, so in case you don't know what those are for though, the power of this guy is to like, I don't know, go into a place and he can see the past events that happened there, and so like he can rewind time for himself, and that's kind of what that's supposed to be, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so that does it for the head though, kind of complicated. For the shoulders, we have a hinge right here, so about 90 degrees, nothing in the way here, but the sculpt does get in the way a little bit. Full rotation right here, bicep swivel, pretty good. You get double jointed elbows, better than 90 degrees, and it is pegged into the bicep and the forearm, so you do get a full swivel. And good thing, the elbow pads are sculpted in a way that they don't really get in the way that much, so that's nice. And then again, you could swivel in the forearm if you want to. And then for the wrist, right here, pretty standard, you have that ball hinge with a peg. So you get a rotation and swivel. So it does get in the way a little bit, which is interesting since there is nothing here. Pretty sure just because it's sculpted so far up. And then for the abs, we have a single ball peg right here, so not bad. It's a little tight, so you don't get that much range of motion going forward. You get pretty decent going back, I suppose, but again, not that much overall. And for the hips, you have a single ball peg, so pretty good range of motion, nothing impeding right here. And this piece is floating, so combined, this is as far as it goes going forward, and combined going back, not bad. For the hips, we have pretty standard ball joints right here, so unfortunately though, you can already see the way that the character is designed, this stuff flares out, so it gets in the way of going out like this. That's about as far as you can get. And you do have a thigh swivel. This side is kind of tight, but you can see that it separates right here, so this thigh swivel is there. And then going forward, it's a pretty good range of motion. Going back, you can get into the splits this way, so not bad. And then for the knees, double jointed, pretty far right here. And then for the ankles, let's see, pretty decent going down, not bad going up. And for the thigh swivel, let's see, or not thigh swivel, ankle rocker. Oh, you can get it pretty good, so not bad. So it's interesting, there's nothing in the way of sculpt limiting the articulation, but again, because it's sculpted so far down, that it does get in the way like this and like this a little bit. And then of course you have this toe hinge right here. Alright, so in terms of paint and sculpt, it's a fairly simple design. I do like the metallic on this though, so it's very shiny throughout, and I really love that speaker motif throughout the character design, or even just like, I would say like a boombox design, right? Because he's got like the time here, the kind of speakers right here, and I believe, does he have any play buttons? Oh, I guess not. But it's really cool. Speakers at the top right here. Speakers on the shoulders, elbows, knees. So that's really cool. Oh, one more thing. So if any of you happen to see my Abbacchio review, you'll know that Abbacchio also comes with like Moody Blues style hands. And so there is a small difference in case you get those two mixed up though. So here are Moody Blues hands. And here are Abbacchio's hands. So you see that these speakers are slightly different, and the knuckles right here are round, these ones are a little pointed, and the panel lining on the fingers are come across more strongly. So the Abbacchio hand is a little bit more organic and the fingers are more thin. So that's kind of cool. Just something I noticed. Alright, but back to this guy though. So again, overall in terms of appearance, it's not the most exciting, I'll have to admit. But it's a pretty unique design in terms of, again, just like this kind of leotard. Articulation is kind of weird. It's like hit or miss. When you put this head on, the articulation becomes really good in the neck, and the arms really good, and the knees are really good. But it's really the hips right here that are really limited. So that is kind of strange. But yeah, here's the back. Something I do want to note though, he's got this nice sculpted butt, so that's kind of funny. But again, paint and sculpt pretty decent despite its simple color scheme, right? But you can see that it's really nice. It's got this nice metallic sheen right here in the shading, and he's got really good musculature throughout. So if you're a fan of Jojo, of course, and you do like Abbacchio and Moody Blues, I do recommend it. It's a good representation, and thanks to what the power is, you can come up with some pretty funny poses. Because its power is to replay events from the past, you could technically switch parts with like any figure or stand that you have, and it would still be part of like the actual story of what happened, so that's kind of cool. If you're not a fan of Jojo, I could see you passing on this guy, because it is a fairly simple design. He does come with a decent batch of accessories though, but again, yeah, it's not that exciting, and it just looks kind of like this weird alien, so you could pass if you're not a fan on it. Okay, that pretty much does it for this review though. So if you enjoyed, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to put this guy in some poses at the end for you. Alright guys, thanks for watching.